Summary question. Let's quickly read the paragraph. Have our own summary in place before we look at the answer options. Human power is what defenders of wilderness often fear, since we might use it to destroy, even as some of them rely on the same power in trying to preserve an idealized notion of the wild, and by spilling blood no less, the massacre of rats to restore the tortoise. So what is he saying? People who want to preserve the wilderness, the wild, untamed wild wilderness, they are afraid of human power. Why are they afraid of human power? Because even if you are relying on the same power, you rely, the power that you use to preserve the wilderness, in trying to preserve wilderness, you are actually destroying also. And he has given the example of destroying rats because you want to preserve the tortoise. So that's the paradox. What underlies this paradox? You have the power, you are using the power to preserve something, and in doing so, you are actually destroying it. What underlies this paradox is the romantic ideal of wilderness without humans. So he says the basis of this paradox is the human idea of wilderness without humans. But imagining us outside of nature is the same mistake as imagining us as having limitless mastery over it. It's wrong. You can't imagine us outside the wilderness, just as you can't imagine having total power over nature. Both are not possible. Okay? In both cases, nature is our opposite, like a foreign land, rather than the home without whose threshold we naturally cross when we tend the garden and till the soil. So he says that, look, you can't do it. Okay, nature may be our opposite, but you cannot have a human without wilderness. You can't have total control over wilderness. And then after that, the paragraph must have explained how and why. So our main points are: 1, the paradox, human power to preserve and destroy nature. 2nd, human without wilderness, a wilderness without humans, not possible. Clear? Let's look at a summary that brings these 2 points, that encompasses these 2 points, captures these 2 points. It is a paradox that humans imagine a wilderness without humans while also having the power to destroy it. The paradox is not a wilderness without humans and the power to destroy it. The paradox is power to preserve, using the power to preserve, trying to preserve it with the power you have while actually destroying it. Right? So that is the paradox. It is paradoxical that humans seek to protect the wilderness by destroying it. True, that is paradox. But what is that the main point? That's one of the points made in the passage, that we seek to protect the wilderness, and we are not exactly destroying, and it also is not capturing the main point. What he is saying is, people who want to protect the wilderness are afraid of the human power. Why? Because the power by which you are trying to protect is also the power by which you are destroying some part of it, or in your effort to preserve it, you are managing to destroy it. Okay? The romantic notion of wilderness free of people is wrong, as humans too are a part of nature. That is true. One is the paradox that we are talking about. The power to protect wilderness is also the power by which we are using to protect it and destroying a part of it. Correct? And what is the basis of this? The basis of this paradox is our romantic notion of wilderness without humans, and that is not possible. Right? So that is the main point, that the romantic notion of a wilderness free of people is wrong, because it's not possible. Humans are a part of nature, but they were opposite it. Still, you can't imagine it. Therefore, the correct summary is C. Nature and human beings are opposite and have a mutually destructive capacity. This part is outside the scope of the passage. So the correct answer is C.